Hey y'all, so welcome to this full moon in January. This is the January full moon and it is the wolf moon. But before we get into the details, as per usual, when we do these full moon ceremonies, let's clear out this room. Let's be intentional, set the intentions, and we'll proceed from there. So let me first sage the room. Hopefully all is well. It is the new year. It's kind of been a couple of days into the new year, but nonetheless, it's 2022. So happy New Year. Did you get your resolutions in? Are you sticking to your resolutions? As well as hopefully this energy has been good to you. All right. Now let's clear this room. Spirit, please allow us to be in our highest intentions. Let us take away any of the energies of imposter syndrome, stress, insecurities, anything that doesn't allow us to be in our highest vibration. Let us receive these messages to the positive and highest frequency so we can actually impart the knowledge that you bring through this readings into our lives for our highest abundance, and let us leave people, places, and things that no longer resonate with us, no longer resonate with our path, no longer hold space and grace for our abundance. Ashe, ashe. Let me make sure everything is out. Let me put this to the side. All right, we're gonna do 3 taps with the singing bowl. Each tap, we're gonna inhale, then exhale with the singing bowl. Okay. And for me, I have a lavender spray. Lavender is a scent that keeps us grounded, as well as it is an essential oil, and it's good for just the vibes, the energy, and just to remove anything that doesn't allow us to be present. So I'm going to spray and inhale. Like I said, I hope everything has been well for you. I know it's the beginning of the year and it's kind of awkward because it's the beginning of the year, but it's cold or it's rainy or it's snowy. So it's kind of like, usually when it's a celebration, something new, it's like that energy of like feistiness. It's hot, it's moving, it's warm, it's passionate. And this is definitely not that season. So it's always interesting. But if you're into astrology, you're into the occult, the real new year starts in March. No, it starts in April. It starts in April, and then the true end of the year is in March. So if we follow the zodiac wheel, Aries being the first of the houses, the 12 houses, and that is associated with April, that is technically the new year. But you know how things are in the world are, politics are different. But nonetheless, we are here for the new moon ceremony. So today is January 17th, which ironically is also Martin Luther King Day in the America. I shouldn't say the Americas, just in the United States. I don't know if everybody else celebrates MLK Day, but it's MLK Day today. So that was interesting that they kind of all ended up meshing together. These are the decks that I will be using. These are the decks. I'm going to do some clarification later with the tarot, but for right now, the main focus will be on these oracle decks. Let me show it to you correctly. So we'll be using the archetype deck, the messages of life deck, the sacred self-care oracle deck, as well as the romance angel deck. So these 4 decks, and then for individual houses, all the 12 houses, we'll pull up a card to see what is the consistent themes that will be presented within the January month for the collective, as well as some of the other themes that might be happening throughout the year, this 6th vibrational year, because it's 2022. 2 plus 2 plus 2 gives us 6. 6 is the energy of balance, the energy of harmony, the energy of love, the energy of justice. When you think about the justice scales, that's very much Libra energy, keeping the balance. And that is what Spirit is asking for the collective to get grounded on in this year. However, wherever, whenever, let us prioritize our own harmony, because oftentimes we're looking outside of ourselves for instructions, for guidance, for insight, but this is the time to bring it to self, right? You cannot fix the world if you haven't, arranged the affairs in your own home, as well as because this wolf moon is happening in the Cancer zodiac, or the Cancer sign, I should say, the house of Cancer, which is the 6th house. It is reminding us to give that care, give that love, give that nurture back to self. And for some of people who may not have the best relationship with their mothers, or you might be a mother yourself, it's asking you, how do you find balance in mothering, in caring, in loving, and that care service work? How do you find time and space for yourself, time and grace for yourself? How do you give the love back to yourself, the love that you give others? How do you give it back to yourself in a way that is healthy, where it's not overcompensating, it is not guilt tripping, it's not nagging, and it's not the energy of like superimposing yourself? So it's asking you all of that balance, right? Interestingly enough, when it comes to Cancer, or Cancers in general, the Cancer sign, it is ruled by the moon, and this is a full moon ceremony. So it's all of that energy colliding. How do we process how we give the nurture back to ourselves, as well as when we do take care of ourselves, we are more likely to be able to take care of other people. We are more likely to love other people. We are more likely to care for other people, and know what that looks like, know what healthy love looks like, if I can speak. Mercury is about to go into retrograde. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to find how healthy loves look like for ourselves, so we can give that healthy love back into the world, right? 360. It's kind of like the infinite sign. It's the energy of give and take, give and take. We got to balance that energy, so we're not doing too much of the giving nor too much of the taking. So let me tell you where the astrology is currently, as well as we're going to read an article getting deeper into what this wolf moon means for the collective, and how you can apply that into this full moon ceremony reading. So currently, Mercury is in Capricorn. Venus is retrograde in Capricorn. Mars is in Sagittarius. Jupiter is in Pisces. Saturn is in Aquarius. Uranus is retrograde in Taurus. However, Uranus goes station direct, meaning it goes direct, is no longer in retrograde in Taurus tomorrow, Tuesday, January 18th. So this is the last day Uranus is feeling to be messing up the energy of the Taurus collective. No, sir. Neptune is in Pisces, Pluto is in Capricorn, Chiron is in Aries. So that is where the astrology is right now. Pretty spaced up. We have some couple of stifled energy, or energies that are conflicting, or not even that, bouncing off of each other. That's the way I like to look at it when we have multiple planets in the same house, where we have like Mercury is in Capricorn, Venus is retrograding Capricorn. This is the energy of getting us together, how those energies work within our own birth chart, but also the collective. What are we supposed to be mindful of in love? Venus representing that love energy, and Mercury representing that communication energy. How do we communicate our love? How do we communicate boundaries? How do we go about love? Is it out of the energy of panicky, needing love, needing validation, needing to be partnered up, needing to meet people's expectations? I should have been married by now. I should have had kids by now. Like, how do you show up in love? And do you show up in love for yourself? That is the question. Now, let's pull up an article. This is from Women's Health magazine, and we're going to read. January 22's full wolf moon in Cancer is here to help you nail that elusive work-life balance. Trying to find the right work-life balance sounds great in theory, but actually pulling it off. Few people are able to do it and do it well. That is until now. The universe is serving up some serious new year, new you energy to finally help you ace this elusive combo. It's all thanks to a full moon in the sign of Cancer happening on January 17, 2022, called the full wolf moon. This lunar event will make you feel like the totally capable badass you are, according to Donna Page, a certified astrologer in Atlanta. But of course, there's a lot more to do than that. Here's what your zodiac sign can expect from the full moon in Cancer, plus how it can impact your life going forward. We're just going to read the article about what is exactly the full moon in Cancer under the full wolf moon, and then we're going to do the reading and pulling out some cards. Wait, what is the full wolf moon in Cancer exactly? As you probably know from looking at the night sky on the regular, the moon has different phases. The biggest and brightest phase is the full moon. Each full moon is linked up with a different astrological sign that helps give it a certain vibe. And this year's full moon is in the sign of Cancer. This particular full moon's name comes from a mix of Native American, Colonial American, and European sources. The full wolf moon traditionally came at a time when wolves were more likely to be heard howling. It is also known as the cold moon and frost exploding moon in some parts. Interesting. As well as, if you've been following me for some time, you know last year when I did the full moon ceremony, you know that we did a cutting and clearing ceremony in regards to our attachment to people, places, and things, especially if some of us have, which is normal. You know, we all have different relationships with different people, especially those, when I did that full moon ceremony, the cutting and clearing of cords in the Cancer full moon around this time last year. We did it in regards to the collective who have, I wouldn't say necessarily mother issues, but more so the relationship isn't that great, or the attachment isn't that great, or there's some lingering residual of childhood. How can we cut and clear those cords but still hold space for what was and what was not? But back into the article. Cancer is all about feelings, emotions, and family, which includes figuring out how to juggle everything, gestures broadly, you've got going on in life. On the other side, you've got some serious take charge energy fueling your desire to ace your career goals and bring in a solid salary so you can pay your bills and then some. You know, practical stuff. On the other, you know it's clutch to pay attention to your emotions and everyday needs, and that includes making time for personal life. So take a beat to try to figure out what you can do to free up a little more time in your life for the fun stuff. Maybe it means setting your email notifications to do not disturb, and I agree, do turn on those do not disturb settings. You do need that, especially if you work from home, especially if you're a person who always is on track of doing what is expected of you, meaning you're always focused on work, or you're always focused on something else, you're always giving to somebody else, you're always the helping hand. Do prioritize yourself, do set boundaries, and do not disturb, and do not check your phone, do not check your emails. Let that be that. There is always tomorrow, but you need your rest, you need your space and grace. I do agree with that. The second, the clock strikes 5 every day, so you actually log off, or making a standing date with your bestie to go on early morning runs so you have quality time to chat and squeeze in some exercise before your day gets going. At the same time, Pluto is bringing in some intense, passionate energy that'll seep into your love life. You know what you deserve from a partner, so how can you make sure you're getting all your needs met? If you're already coupled up, Don't hesitate to talk to your significant other about what more you need from the relationship. It'll only make you stronger. And if you're single, be open and direct about what you're looking for. It'll prevent you from wasting a lot of time on future first dates. Trust. That means if y'all on the dating sites, whether it's the Hinge, the Bumbles, the Tinders, the whatever, set your intentions. And if you swipe in and someone look good, but their politics ain't good, or they ain't really about nothing, they just want to hump up on you and that's not what you're looking for, let it be known that's not what you're interested, and let it be that. Do not future fake yourself thinking that they could or the situation could be more than it actually is. Set the tone and walk in that truth, okay? The full moon will impact all zodiac signs, but Cancer and Capricorn will feel it the most, which is very true because Cancer is directly in opposition to Capricorn. So them two would feel it the most, and we are in Capricorn season technically. How will the full wolf moon in Cancer impact your future? Finally, figure out how to have a little more life in your, life will do a ton for you. Now and going forward, you'll feel like a more well-rounded human because you are, and that will help you be more focused at work and more relaxed at home. It's a massive W all around. On the relationship front, being honest about your needs will only jack up the odds that they'll eventually be met. Ask and you shall receive, after all. That'll help you merge a happier, healthier person in your love life and beyond, benefiting everyone in the long run. Okay. I think, yeah, that is all. So that is the article. I think we covered everything. We covered love, career, and personhood, right? Let me see something real quick. Cool. Now that we know what the wolf moon is about, let's get into the individual messages. I want to do a collective insight, but as well as I want to pick out one card for each zodiac sign to see what is the constant theme that will be coming up for the full moon energies that will last around 4 to 6 weeks for the collective, and the actual interpretation, how the card will be fitting for the year 2022. Now, I think we're going to start off with some self-care. I think we all need some self-care. And I think we're going to end up with romance angel, because we all need some love, but oftentimes, depending on who we are, we might jump right into the love and miss the message, and then we find ourselves back in the same F-boy or F-girl situation because we didn't learn a lesson first before we jumped right into the game, right? So we're going to leave that last. I think I'm going to do messages of life following. I'm going to do some archetype cards. We're going to finish it up with the love, romance, angel cards, and then the modern witch tarot deck. I feel complete with that order. So let's see what are some self-care oracle messages for the collective. Because I feel like a lot of us have not been catering to self. We have not been taking our spiritual baths. We have not been putting on that do not disturb setting. We have been saying yes to things that we really wanted to say no to. We have, allowed maybe even our employees to take advantage of us. And I understand, because not too many people can say no right about now. The bargaining chip of the workers isn't that strong, as well as there's not a lot of, I would say, direct action, mutual aid, as well as those who are leaders, those who are the man with the plan or the woman with the plan or the non-binary with the plan to step up and, collectivize the collective, So I'm still feeling an energy of fingers tied, feet tied, tongue tied, the energy of like, I want to, but I can't, money's not really right. The timing's not right. People, places, and things ain't right. I'm going to see some self-care messages that Spirit wants us to know, regardless if the timing isn't at its best, what we should honor regardless. Give some space. one more shuffle for the collective. All right, Spirit. What are some self-care messages that you have for the collective? Aries all the way through Pisces. What do you want us to know? What do you want us to implement? What do you want us to learn the lessons of or from? What are some self-care messages that you have? Ooh, soak in a bath. Ooh. I did not say spiritual bath. I said spiritual bath because A, I believe in it, but also B, I just came from a spiritual bath, like literally hopped out the bath, did my routine, hopped up on the camera. So Spirit wants us to get into our soaking our bath, doing the spiritual bath. And as you can see, little mommy taking her sweet old time. She has her feet kicking up. She got the nice bath water. It got some flowers. It's all scented. It got certain herbs. She has her sage misting as she is just relaxing in there. There's candles. It's making it her own thing. It's interesting because as I was in my spiritual bath earlier, I was like, it is so hot that I think there's literal steam coming from the tub. I'm like, am I baking myself? Am I boiling myself? Am I my own broth? Am I in my own soup? But it was such a good feeling because the way I do spiritual baths, sometimes I may or may not have candles, but I also always have a playlist. I'm always listening to music, whether I'm in a spiritual bath or I'm in the shower. Regardless to what, I love doing that with music. I literally cannot bathe anymore. I literally cannot shower anymore without music. And it takes you to a different dimension. It lets your mind meditate, or lets your mind just go to different places. It allows you to decompress. It allows you to have me time and to really enjoy that sacred time. And Spirit wants everybody to get into that. Soak in bath number 46, which is 10. 4 plus 6 is 10. Completion. You need to start with yourself. You cannot give all that you've got and not give none to yourself. And as you can see on this candle, there's a little crescent moon. Maybe y'all feel depleted. Maybe y'all feel empty. Let's see if we can get a second card for the collective. I love it when me and Spirit are on the same page. I'm telling you. Let's see. I think I'd see a little crystal right there. So maybe y'all need to get into some crystal healing. Maybe get some crystals if you don't, or maybe you want to add to your collection. Maybe Spirit's saying this might be the time to do so. Oh, let's see if we can get a second card for the collective, Spirit, in regards to our self-care. Health checkup. If y'all haven't gone to the doctors or you need to, this is the new year, so definitely get up on that. Definitely do so. Book your checkups, your dental, whatever the case may be, your eyes, your ears, your nose, because all of that is a part of your body too. Your mental health, if you need to go to the doctor, if you need to re-up on your prescriptions, if you have never gone to a therapist but you're feeling like your mental is being tugged at and you need that extra support, please do so. And if you don't have insurance, please look up free clinics or a sliding scale clinic, because those are available as well. As best as you can, seek help and find the help that you need. I know that is easier said than done, but if you need it, please do not neglect yourself. I also see a lot of green energy. As you can see on her toes, her toenails are painted green, and the background of this particular image is green as well. Green is very much that revitalized energy, very much of that plant, herbal, earthy energy. And when it comes to the chakra points, it is the heart. Again, we're talking about love, we're talking about Cancer, we're talking about feelings. This is the time to show yourself love in action, as well as show other people that you love or the things that you love, to care and center you as much as you care and center it. 26 reduced is 8. 8 is very personal. 8 is very much how you connect with the collective, but also how do you connect with yourself, as well as how do you connect with the divine. So this is very much doctor medical. Might need, your medical marijuana card. If that's you, that's you. And if you need it, do so, indulge, but indulge safely. Let's get a third card for the collective. Maybe y'all are thinking about becoming a doctor, or you're studying about different health practices. I see the doctor has a crystal on her chest right there. So maybe y'all are thinking about becoming doctors, or you're interested in medical information. Maybe you've been researching some things. Maybe you've been doing your residency. Maybe you are a doctor in training. We got a third card, which is 39. Reduced gives us 12. 12 reduced gives us 3. Plan a vacation. Again, this is 6 energy. This is harmonious energy. This is balanced energy. If you have not done what is necessary for yourself, please do so. If you can't afford a trip, or you have the availability, you have the money, you have the time, please do so. If you don't right now, but you would like to this year, plan it. Put it on your vision board. You know, set aside money, set aside time to make that thing happen. If there's somewhere that you've always wanted to go, places that you always wanted to see, this probably is the year to do so, to go about that, to be about that. As I said that, there was a little clink sound. It's my little, I don't know what you call this, but this. And it says, big dream, or dream big. So maybe this is time for you to dream big, make your dreams come true. This might be a reminder that your dreams are coming true, but Spirit needs you to put some skin in the game, to co-manifest, to be a magician and make things happen in your life. Spirit will always put the opportunities in your pathway. If it's meant for you, it will never pass you by. But Spirit cannot make you do something. You have to have the energy, the wherewithal, the desire to make it happen. If you want it, Spirit will put certain people, places, and things in your pathway to make it happen. But Spirit cannot make the steps for you, cannot take the steps for you, cannot make you or me or anybody do what we truly are not interested in doing. So I'm going to set these cards here. Now we're going to go into the messages of life. Oracle deck. I love this Oracle deck. This is actually my first Oracle deck I've ever had. And I loved it because of the outer look of it. It's giving me very space. It's giving me very divine. And the messages are very potent. The illustration is very beautiful. And the way it's like designed, usually Oracle cards are more square looking. And this is more, rectangular looking. So that's another sales point for me. But let's see what are some cards that we have for the collective. I like this message. All this message is all about, again, self-care, but also how in practice, how in practicality, right? People always say self-care, wellness, love, and it's like, yeah, but how do you do that? And that's a legitimate question, because a lot of people don't know what that looks like, have not gotten into it. Some people literally do not feel comfortable taking a break. Like they feel like they're cheating themselves or cheating other people when they take time for themselves. So if that is you, we're going to work that thing out, because you need you more than you need anybody else, okay? You cannot show up and show up for anybody else until you do so for yourself. So we're going to learn together, how does self-care, wellness, mindfulness, all of that jazz look like in action? Let me do 2 more shuffles. Okay. 1 more. After I shuffle with this particular deck, how I do it, because it's so hard to shuffle because of the unique look of it, I just crack the deck. And let's say I crack the deck and both of the cards are like this. Both sides are back to back. I would keep on cracking until I get to the point where one side is the cover and the other side is whatever the depiction is, and I would take that as the card Spirit wants us to be acknowledging. See, they're both, a message. I would just keep on flipping it. And you see how the cover was here, and that's the message that's showing. So I'm going to take that message. It's kind of quirky, but that's what I do. It says, I welcome. I welcome. Hopefully y'all see it. I welcome life as it is. I welcome life as it presents itself to me. Today, I take each step on my path to fulfillment with good faith. I swim easily with the flow of life. I embrace all experiences the universe bestows on me, even those that may prove challenging. I know all will fall into place for my greater good. Hopefully y'all can see it. Let me bring it up to the camera. Okay, I'm going to leave that here. So it's, again, like I say, our pathway, right? It's a full moon. It's giving us very much that solar, lunar energy. It's giving us a pathway. We know that wherever the divine takes us, even if we feel like we are in the Eight of Swords, we're depressed, we don't know where to go, we feel stressed, we feel casted away, we feel this and the third. Know that Spirit will never put more on your shoulders that you are not here to bear. And every season has a reason, and there's a lesson embedded in it. It might be your pathway. It might be hard. It might be difficult, but there is the light at the end of the tunnel. Believe that. It's all God's plan. And on top of that, God knows that you were able to get the mission done, because if not, God wouldn't have chosen you to go upon this path. God never will put you in a situation, as I always tell myself when I get nervous, when I start hyperventilating, when I'm like, oh my goodness, so much, because you know the brain can make peace or hell, all in the same system of the brain, right? Sometimes when I freak out, I'm like, sis, calm down. Calm down. God will never put you in a situation where you will be, and I literally tell myself, asked out. God has never put us in a situation that we'd be asked out. God will never do that. That is not of God. That is of downstairs in the basement, but that is not of God. God will never put us in a situation where we'd be asked out. And that has always been true for me. So, sometimes we just got to go with the current, even when it is choppy waters, All right, so let's see what are some of the consistent things that will be coming up for the year for the collective. I was thinking about pulling up maybe like 6 cards, but because this is a brand new year, it's 2022. Let's see what are the consistent themes that will be showing up for the whole year of 2022. So let's do some shuffle. What are some of the consistent themes that will be coming up for the collective 2022? I see a lot of forward motion, like Chariot card. If you had projects that were not tied up in 2021, loose ends, it did not move the way that you wanted to, there was a sudden pause or whatever the case may be, this is where literally all blockages will be removed. Like, this is the year where if you were cheated or things weren't gratefully done, like it wasn't completed holistically, it wasn't 360, this is the year where it'll be 360. And depending on where we all are, tongue tied a little bit, we will find how we resonate with the energy of karma. If we're on top of the wheel, then karma will be in our favor. If we're below the wheel, karma will not be in our favor. But also with the energy of the Cancer moving forward, I'm seeing the Chariot energy. Maybe there's some moving, maybe there's some energy of traveling, maybe it's like leaving a job for a better position, or maybe starting a new business, or coming into commune with people who are like-minded as you, who have the same vision as you. Is very much meeting your soul tribe. Is very much meeting people on your pathway, as we see here. Very much the energy of making things happen. Very much a mover, shaker energy, but with love, with grace, with new eyes, with insight, with care, with compassion, with empathy. Because it's always easy to see things from our own perspective. It's harder seeing it from other people's perspective. Good, bad, or indifferent. Not necessarily giving excuses, but understanding. Because when we can understand, we can communicate better. We can dream bigger. We can work better together. It's a dream team, right? There's no I in team. Let me take a sip out of my tea. It takes everybody to make this thing work. It takes a collective, it takes a village to raise a child, right? I'm feeling the energy of children, mother, community. This is the time, this is the energy of coming together. Okay. What is some of the archetypes that will be showing up and popping up for the collective in 2022, Spirit? What is some of the energy for January for the collective? Let's go by month. What is January giving us, Spirit, for the collective? Prostitute. Okay. Prostitute. Light attribute. accentuates the challenge of serving without negotiating the power of your spirit. So that means the challenge of, and it doesn't necessarily mean like prostitute, like OnlyFans or back pages, but you feel cheaped when you're doing the most, but you're not receiving the most. Let's say from an economic standpoint, let's say the job market. There's a lot of conversation about strikers' work, strikers protesting and strikers holding the line. And when they talk about it, they're saying, you know, we made so much money for the company, especially during the pandemic, but we're not seeing profit. They're taking advantage of us. They're cutting out our benefits. They are having a two-tier system where the new workers coming into the company would get less benefits. It's that type of energy where this archetype is embodying prostitution, not necessarily selling your body, but it's like undercutting your value and accepting that, right? Accepting being exploited, accepting getting less than, accepting peons and peanuts and crumbs off the table. This is the energy of January where a lot of the collective feels short-changed. And if you feel this way, how do you go about resolving that? Does that mean putting your demands in paper, getting your other co-workers to say, like, we're taking a stand, we need a pay raise, we need benefits? What does that look like? Does it look like quitting the job and starting your own business? Does it look like getting new skills so you can advance in your career or new career? It's asking you, how does this energy of prostitution, not necessarily selling yourself, but it could be, again, undervaluing yourself or undercutting yourself or allowing other people to do so. How do you go about resolving that in January? Shadow attribute. Place material considerations and security above self-improvement. So this is literally prostitute energy, shadow attribute. This would be like, buy me a Birkin and you can have a nice time with me, you know, get my hair done, my nails done, and I might, you know, give you a little something in return. It's that type of energy, the shadow. But the light attribute is very much, how do you allow people to take advantage and how do you stop that? Let me put that here. Okay. Let's see what are the themes for February for the collective spirit. What does the collective need to be mindful of in regards to February? Let me see. Let me just take this one. Night. Light attributes: loyalty, romance, chivalry, a love of honor. So you might have themes in February, because interesting enough, because February is Aquarius season, but also February is very much love and Valentine. So this might be the energy of wanting to be in a relationship, wanting to spark new energy in the relationships that you currently are in, romantic, platonic, or otherwise. This might be the time where you're trying to date or trying to get your feet wet into the dating market, maybe even taking someone's apology or maybe taking things to the next level, but very much the energy of loyalty, romance, chivalry, a love of honor. Shadow attributes: allegiance to destructive ruler or principle, romantic delusion. So this would be like the F-boy, F-girl type of energy, or very much like, oh, I'm just gonna put, you know, that peen on her and she's gonna do what I want her to do. Very much of that taking advantage energy, which actually aligns shadow attributes with prostitutes' shadow attributes. I'll also take this too. It fell out. I'm gonna give it. I want to just one card, but two cards fell out, so I'm gonna take this message from Spirit. What is also a consistent theme for the collective in February is detective. Light attributes: great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out truth. So this might be if y'all are going through maybe a legal dispute, maybe your employer has been chaffing you with asking you to do more things off the clock. So let's say you clock out at 5, but they're hitting you up in the email. They're telling you need to do this, that, and the third. Detective might be like, okay, now I want back pay. My employer has been stealing my time and not been adequately paying me for it. So now I'm going to go to HR, or I'm going to talk to my boss, or hell, I quit and I'm taking them to small claims court, whatever the case may be. I feel like with this detective energy, you're very much researching, very much applying yourself, very much trying to get to the root of the issue. Shadow attributes, voyeurism, falsifying information. So do not get ahead of yourself where you're thinking something. Again, oftentimes it's easy to see things from our own perspective, but harder for us to see it from a different perspective. So the shadow attributes might be a consistent theme for some, is to not sneak into other people's information, meaning like don't do anything criminal to get your quote unquote point across or to get your quote unquote proof, as well as don't add things or subtract things because you're trying to make yourself look better, but like the paperwork don't align. So it's asking you to be honest and authentic. Okay, let's move on to March. What is the consistent theme of March? I like how Mami Yana has a book, but the book has a hole, and the hole, her eye is peeking through it. She's like, now you see me, now you don't. Elusive energy, that Pisces energy. Making sure that, you know, you're following the right scent, so to speak. Not exaggerating, not allowing your own delusions, confusions, illusions trap you up into seeing something that's not actually there. For March for the collective, we have Mentor and Saboteur. 2 cards came out. I got to be honest and take them both. Mentor, light attributes, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. So you might be looking for a mentor. You might become somebody's mentor. Someone might be looking up to you. Someone might want to work with you in March. You might also be looking for a mentor, someone who knows more than you or has more insight or is more connected, more accessible to whatever you're trying to get to. This might be the time where that energy comes in. Shadow attributes, inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, empowering false instructions. So basically, this could be the energy, not necessarily you, but people around you who want to keep you as small fish, who want to sun you, who want to keep you complacent, who wants to little bro you. So this might be the energy of being mindful of, is this person working for your best interest, or is this person doing this detective work of trying to keep you small so they can have dominion over you? Because that's a thing. Weirdly enough, that's the thing. People love when they rooting for you. They love you winning. They love you successful, just not more successful than them. So that might be something there as well. And for March, we also have Saboteur, light attribute, lighting your fear of self-improvement and the changes it would bring to your life. Shadow attributes, induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. So with the light attribute, Saboteur, it's kind of like self-reflection. It's kind of like that hermit energy of going back into self and making sure that you're still aligned with your pathway, with the vision that Spirit has for you, and you're not being sidetracked, whether it's your ego, whether it's bad influences, bad commentation, or whatever the case may be. It's highlighting your fear of success, kind of like imposter syndrome or self-sabotage because you feel maybe you're not good enough or someone's trying to undermine you, but it's really all in your head. Do not allow the ego to pull you off and have you jumping off the porch and landing on your ankle. So sometimes the ego wants you to stay small because it's comfortable being mediocre. So that's the thing too. That's resonating for somebody out there. No judgment. Okay, let's move on to April, the real new year. What's going on for the collective in regards to April, Spirit? What are some constant themes in April for the collective? What are some other things coming on for the collective in April, Spirit? Give us some insight, some messages for April. What is April giving? These cards are supposed to be coming out in single file order, and they're coming out 2 to 3 at a time. Let me make space because I need a lot of it. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Whew. So some of the things that will be popping up for the collective in April is trickster energy. Can you see? Yep. Let me move that to the side. Trickster energy. Trickster, light attribute, transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. And this particular energy, interestingly enough, I just said you don't want to jump off the porch and land on your ankle. When we think of the image of jumping, we think of the Fool card, number 0 in the major arcana. And this is the energy, even though it's called Fool, it doesn't necessarily mean foolish or dumb or anything like that unless it's in reverse. But upright, it means taking a leap, making things that and doing things that are unconventional, going forth, taking a chance, leaping forward. And this is the energy of trickster in the light attribute. It's someone who can do things that are unpredictable, do things that everybody else is hesitant or scared to do, take chances, invest, go, be, do. Very much of the energy of like a child-free type of energy, right? And then the shadow attribute, manipulating others through duplicity. So this is the energy of taking advantage of people's kindness or taking people and looking at them as weak and playing on their like emotions, or somebody who's manipulative or gaslighting, or somebody who's very much tells stories that do not exist. Very much of a liar. So it's asking you in regards to April for the collective, do you embody this trickster energy and the light attribute, or the shadow attribute, or the people around you? Are they here for your highest abundance, or are they for your lowest abundance? Most of us have come into contact with people who are very just themselves, right? They don't adhere to the rule. They say what they want to say. They do what they want to do. They stand in their truth. They're very much of that whimsical energy. They shake things up. And that's the energy Spirit wants the collective to get more in touch with. But not the energy of manipulation, but the energy of like, I am my own unique person, and this is what I bring to the table. Speaking of childish type of energy, we have child magic and the light attributes, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. That being the month, April, where it's Aries season, it's spring season, things are blossoming, it's the spring equinox. This is asking us to be in that energy, to be grounded in that energy where we see the potential for the newness. We see the potential of what life can look like after the destruction, after the pitfall, after the stress. How do we bring our whimsicalness, our magic, our, what is the term? What is the term? That our own je ne sais quoi, our own voila, voulala, like ooh la la, that energy of like just you, that magical touch, just you. And it's asking us to bring that to the collective, to show the collective, because we might really have the juice and people just don't see it. People just don't have the vision to see our vision. People just don't know how to do what we do, bring what we bring. And it's time for us, the collective, who have that alternative, divergent thinking, who can't see the beauty in the darkness, who can't see the light and the destruction, to bring that forth and bring other people engaged to see that vision the way that you see it. Because people are not going to see it from your point of view, because again, people can see things from their own point of view. That it's not easy for people to see things from from other people's point of view, especially if we're talking about it in an occultic way, or we're talking about it in a future way. We're talking about it in a non-conventional, hard line, already systematic way. It's hard for people to envision a better direction, but it's asking for those of us who have that insight, who have that intuition, to bring that forward in action. Because when people see that you're able to do what you do and do it well, you're not going to have to try to hard sell them to believe in it, because if they see you do it and you do it well, they're going to want to do it too. Light attributes, shadow attribute. This is an empty card where, let's say me or you would write in what is the light attribute that we are invoking on this card, and then what is the shadow attributes of that energy. So this is kind of like a space card for you to write in what that energy would be for the collective in April. Let's move on to my birthday month, March. May. I said March. May. I'm a Taurus May baby. So let's see what May has for the collective. What are Taurians working with, but not just the Taurians, just the collective. Okay, we have one card, and it's Don Juan. Light attributes. Spotlight your positive, seductive qualities. Shadow attribute. Using the power of romance, attraction for private agendas. So, with moving with the train of thought for the collective with the archetype cards, with this Don Juan energy, if you are able to manifest, you are able to walk in your truth, you are able to be that light bearer in the dark and bring your vision into light, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to be like, oh, you so cute, you so fine, you did things so differently, I want to be like you, how can I be like you? Don't get your ego inflated. Don't get caught up. Don't get, popping my collar and, everybody got to be like, no. With this Don Juan energy, it is highlighting positive, seductive qualities. Let's say you're very charming. You have a great way of doing and saying things. Maybe you're beautiful. Maybe you have quote unquote pretty privilege. Maybe you're well spoken. Maybe whatever the case may be. There's something seductive, elusive, alluring about you. It's asking you to know what that is. Own that. That's you. That's your God-given right. But to not use that to manipulate others. Meaning, let's say you're a woman who's very beautiful and you have seductive qualities. Let's say you're very curvaceous. Spirit is asking you, embody that, wear that, own that. But don't be trading off, let's say for this prostitute energy, if I trade off my body, then I get more money, or I get a certain privileges, or I get this position. It's giving me very much Maxwell Ghislaine type of tease, or Ghislaine Maxwell, however you say that woman's name. Don't use your connections and then you out here selling little girls. It's asking you to know your, let's say, privileges, know your access, know your qualities. That is very much Don Juan. That's very much alluring. That's very much kind of like an elixir. It's hypnotizing, right? Don't use that for evil, essentially. Let's move into June. What does the collective have for June? The Geminis. What's going on for the collective in June? Maybe something in particular is happening in January that might also reflect or come into completion in May, because prostitute and Don Juan, though they are very gender neutral, but this would be like the yin to the yang. So if this is starting in January, this prostitute energy, maybe in May it will meet its conclusion, or something else will, let's say, counteract it in May with the Don Juan energy. Something I just had to put out there. In June, this is goddess energy. We love to see it. Goddess, light attribute, the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. So when I think of goddess, I think of the Empress card, and the major arcana is number 3. And the Empress is unique, just like the Emperor, but in the yin energy. I'm just talking about yin and yang. Because the Empress embodies all the queens in the suit. So that means the Empress has gone through the phase of being the Queen of Earth, which would be like the Queen of Pentacles, has gone through the energy of being the Queen of Wands, has gone through the energy of the Queen of Swords, has gone through the energy of the Queen of Cups, and all those lessons, those trials and tribulations and everything in the season of those queendoms has enabled the Empress to be the Empress. The Empress cannot be the Empress unless they have gone through the seasons of the queendom. And this is what I'm saying. A lot of y'all who didn't put that energy into January, you will see the results of your fruits, the fruits of your labor in June. Shadow attributes. Exploitation of the female nature and form. Again, it's being very mindful. I don't know what it is for the collective in 2022, but it's asking us to not sell ourselves short with the prostitution energy, with the Don Juan energy, with the trickster energy, with the sabotage energy, and even with the goddess energy. And its, shadow attributes. It's asking us to be very aware, very precise, very much in tune with who we are and what we're here for. Because if you're, let's say, attractive, people will try to undercut your mental abilities. People will try to undercut your smarts and your wits because they're like, you're cute. Just show me your body and that's just it. You don't have to work as hard. You don't have to use your brain. You don't have to do anything because now you quote unquote made it. You know, just use your pretty privilege. Just use your connections. And Spirit's saying you're more than just your looks. You're more than just your connections. You're more than these material, physical, minute things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. So Spirits ask you to not sell yourself short, even when people are telling you, oh, you should be able to sell yourself short because you'll be able to do this or you'll gain that or this, that, and the third. And Spirit's like, no, absolutely not. Okay, let me order or arrange the cards a little bit. Okay. Now, let's go into July. What is July having for the collective? The War Leo season. No, Cancer. Ooh. I was just about to skip over Cancer while we're doing the Cancer full moon ceremony. Forgive me, Cancers. Alchemist. Interesting. Light attribute. Transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. So for the collective in June, I feel like this is the energy of now that you have manifested, now that you have co-created, now that you have established yourself on some magician type of energy, Virgo, Gemini, Mercury type of energy. Now what? Right? Like sometimes we make such a fuss about getting to the plan, getting to the goal, making this happen, doing this thing. And now that it happened, now what? Because sometimes we think like the stars and the moon and the sky are going to separate and, you know, Zeus is going to come down from the heavens. And it's like, no, it's just a Tuesday. It's the best Tuesday of your life, but it's still just a Tuesday. So now what? So it's asking you, now that you have accomplished, now that you have set the tone, now that you've done what you wanted to do, now what? Shadow attribute. Misuse of power and knowledge that comes through spiritual practice. I feel like with this is giving ego tease. Don't get caught up in your ego, but also don't just sit on that one success and be like, all right, I did it, done. It's like, okay, how do you cultivate that? How do you better it? How do you spread it? How do you whatever it? How do you make it better? Not in competition, but in a sense of like, everything can be better. Everything can be more packaged. Let's say you did one thing and it was really, really good. And people are like, damn, I really wish this was something that could happen on a repeated basis. Is it possible for you to do it on a repeated basis? Would it take more time? Would it take more energy, more resources? Okay, if so, how do we do that? How do we make that? Who do I got to talk to make that thing a thing? So it's asking us to not just rest on our laurels. It's asking us to do what we do and do it better. Not out of like competition or out of like running on a hamster wheel, as opposed to now that you know the sauce, you know the cheat code. How do we better it? You know? Let's see what the collective has for July. Now, Leos. Maybe it wasn't even me. It could be just Leos in general, because you know Leos. Leos, they jumping out fiercely, roaring and everything. Leo said, you're not going to catch me. But the gag is, I'm still going to shuffle. So we have a blank space for the July for the collective. And I feel like with this particular energy, it is the summer energy. It's the bright energy. It's the sunny energy. It's just that, I don't know if it's like that for y'all, but for me, when I think of summer, I literally think of like Six Flags, Disney World, the beach, like everything positive, everything healthy and abundant and vibrant and passionate. I love the summer. I'm a spring baby, but I love the summer. And I feel like with this is the time to take time out for yourself. Prioritize yourself. It's the summer. Enjoy that summer. Go out there. Touch some grass. Put your feet in some sand. Do things. Make memories. Make memories. Maybe you need to have a scrapbook. Maybe you should take some pictures. I know for me, on my TikTok page, I use that specifically as like a digital scrapbook. I don't necessarily make content for its viability, as opposed to this is what I've done and now I can reflect when the year is over, or if I want to remember what I've done in the past, I can look back and be like, oh my God, I did that. I was with my friends and I remember the energy. I remember the places. It gives me that sense of like, I don't just exist to work and live and do the 9 to 5. I also exist to be human, be in commune, be in love, be in care, be in life, be present in my life, and to enjoy my life as the path unrolls itself, reveals itself. So I feel like that is the collective energy for July. Let me see if I can get an actual card for July for the collective. The collective for July. Let me get an actual cord. It's funny. We had like 2 months that had like 2 or 3 cards, and then July has just a space card. Companion. Oh, I love that. And I'm telling you this, it's that yellow bright ass energy of the summer that is very much associated with that Leo July energy. Companion, light attributes, loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. Shadow attributes, betrayal of misusing confidence, loss of personal identity. I feel like with that, it's just like enjoy life, enjoy your neighbors, enjoy the time, enjoy your friends, enjoy your family. Just enjoy, just be in commune, be in compassion, hold space and grace for others, but for yourself too. I like this a lot. Let's move on to August. What is going on for the August collective? What's going on, Spirit, for August? Thief. Attributes: sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Shadow attribute: stealing money, creative ideas, affection, and other powers you think you lack. So, you know, when we in our highest vibration, them demons come out to play. It be like that. I feel like for August, though, for the collective, I think you shouldn't let either the imposter syndrome, either fake people, they see you on the come up, they see you shining, they see things and opportunities in front of you that they did not build, that they did not assist with. They may have thrown shade, they may have left you in the dark, they may have given up on you or betrayed you. This is the energy of like being mindful of like when you up, people are going to want to be up with you. People are going to want to come up off of your own success. They might want to ride your coattail. They might want to put more importance and value of themselves in your own life that they have not contributed to. And I feel like this particular energy, if people, place, and things try to come back around and it does not resonate with your energy and you do not want it, you did not ask for it, do not feel as if you are forced to or guilt tripped into or a proof of you're a divine being if you don't accept the apology and put them back into your life. Like, no, you can set boundaries. Let your no's be no's. Let your yeses be yeses. And don't let them interconnect or, you know, cross if they're not meant to cross. If they're not meant to be in your life, they're not meant to be in your life. And it's okay to be like, no. But also don't have rose-colored lenses around the people who are in your life. If the season is over, let it be over. Be, you know, woman about it, man about it, non-binary about it. But don't allow people to play you for a sucker. Don't allow people to take your compassion, your empathy, your love for weakness. Take advantage of that. Whether they're not in your life trying to get back into your life, or whether they are in your life and now doing too much. Let's see what September has for the collective. We have Prince. It's just at night, and now we have Prince. Light attribute: romantic charm and potential for power. Shadow attribute, using power for self-aggrandizement. So I feel for the collective in regards to September. You know what I just heard? I heard the song that goes, but it's not September, it's November. But I heard, November. Is that type of energy. I don't know why. But maybe something starting off in September, but like will conclude or take it to the higher level in maybe November. Anyways, with this Prince energy, you might be in a relationship. You might be taking your relationship to the next step. There might be someone who might be proposing to you or trying to come back around in September, because it's the fall season. It's the apple picking season. You know, the leaves are dying, but they look so beautiful while they die. It's the apple cider season. It's the glazed donut. It's the nutmeg and cinnamon season. The ginger season. The good season. Sweater season. Anyways, with this particular energy, I feel like with Prince, depending on who you are and what your situation is, it might be enjoying the season, enjoying the weather, enjoying the companion, enjoying the fruits of your labor, enjoying just that energy of the here and now. It's like the energy of like rocking in your rocking chair as you watch like the nature in front of you and you sipping on your tea and you're just going... Is that type of energy. This could be a person, this could be a place, this could be a thing, but it's the energy of just being present, and whatever the hell else is going on in the world, you're good with self. You're good in the now. Well, with the shadow attributes I see is I see it from two perspectives. It could be one of those positions where you rose to the top of whatever the case may be, and now you have the opportunity to be on that whole back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me, on some Mike Jones stuff, where it's like you wasn't checking for me, but now you in my face, I'm going to take advantage of you, I'm going to make you pay for it, I'm going to make you call me daddy. It could be that energy, the Emperor with new clothes, but it could also be the energy of being able to seek revenge, but being in your higher vibration where it's like, no, I'm not going to seek revenge. However, I'm not going to be nobody's hoe either. Just because I could end you, but I don't end you, doesn't mean that I'm weak. It means that I am better than that. I don't have to stoop to your level. I don't have to prove how tough and how hard and how real I am by matching your energy. The fact that I can rise above it and not be like you is a testament of who I am, not who you are. You're not going to push my button to get a reaction. It's that type of energy. It resonates for somebody out there. Let's see what October has for the collective. That was easy. We have Monk Nun. Light attributes, selfish devotion and single-minded dedication to spirits. October energy. It is the scale. It is the Libra energy. Or it could be, depending on where we are in the month, it could also be Scorpio energy. And Scorpio is very spiritual, very grounded. I see with this particular energy, it's the light and the dark. I'm seeing this with this particular energy. And I think it's connected with this Prince energy too. How you handle this situation in September is going to indicate who you are and what you are about in October with this Monk Nun energy. It's the ability to not allow other people's ish to be your ish. To not carry other people's karma, other people's energy, other people's resentment, and make it your own situation. It's like rising above it. Not on some facetious, fake, pseudo, new age spirituality, be on some like, that does not resonate with me. Last year, I would have reacted that way to this situation. This year, I'm reacting this way to that situation. Is being able to critique yourself and see how you have changed just by the way that you see things, the way you present in things, the way you commune in things, the way you react to things. Shadow attributes, negative judgment of the physical world, excess height. So I feel like with this particular energy, there's shadow attributes is not getting caught up in other people's ish and making it your own ish. Whether that means they want you to be the superwoman or superman or super non-binary, whether that means they want you to take on these politics or these beliefs that you don't believe in or you don't resonate with, whatever the case may be, this energy is reminding you of you are who you are, but you don't have to be like other people to be liked, to be respected. You can stand on your own square and principles. You don't have to ride the wave of other people. You don't have to kiss ass to get favor. You don't have to take on belief systems or stance or whatever the case may be to get in the in crowd. Do not self-sabotage by being something that you're not. Don't try to, chase people's gazes, be a part of anything that is not aligned with your own moral values. Let's go on to November. What is November giving for the collective spirit? You have 2 cards. Gossip and hedonist. Interesting. For gossip, we have light attributes, awakens, consideration for the feelings of other, honoring, trust. So, in November, there might be a lot of conversation, especially with this Prince energy and this theft energy. Because again, when we're in our highest vibration, the demons want to come out to play. Okay? They're irritated by your light. They're irritated by your energy of divine. And they just want to come in to cause chaos. With this gossip, you're not going to please 100% of the people 100% of the time. I mean, hell, even Jesus had haters. Even Malcolm X had haters. Do not think you are the exception. Even when you do great work, even when your intentions are in the best place, even when you live up to your highest values, there's always going to be a hating asshole. Who's going to be hating? Because as the old saying goes, hating hoes ain't happy. And happy hoes ain't hating. It's just science. With this particular energy gossip, there's going to be people who's going to feel some type of way, but that's none of your business because you in that monk, nun energy, the light attribute, so you're not even stressing. And people might hit you up with gossip. People might even give you their personal situations to bear. Those people who only call you up to talk about bullshit, only call you up to complain about somebody else, only calls you up to be like, hey, did you hear about this? And did you hear that? Energy vampires. Be very mindful of energy vampires. They may not recognize they are energy vampires. They may see other people as energy vampires, but don't make the connection to themselves. Because it's easy to point fingers at others. It's harder to point those 3 fingers back at yourself. But the way that this pointing thing is set up, as you point outwards, 3 are pointing back at you. Oftentimes people forget those 3 fingers pointing back at them. So don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in the hype. Shadow attributes. Thrive on power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidence. Exactly. Some people, they only call you up because they want to share bad news. Some people only want to call you up so they can complain about somebody else. And don't allow that energy to sidetrack you. You can give access to people. You can be friendly to people. You can be inviting and kiki and have a good time. But don't get caught up in the he said, she said, because honestly, that's none of your business, period. Hedonist. Light attributes. Inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life. Celebrate the beauty in yourself. Interesting, because I always talk about how I'm a heathen. Okay, I'm a heathen. And usually religious people, those who are Christian, they think of the worst of the worst. And I'm like, yeah, I say I'm a heathen, but I'm the coolest, nicest, giving, caring, down ass heathen that you'll ever meet. And I mean that in the sense of I love what I love. I stand on what I stand on. I'm very non-conventional and I'm okay with that because being something that I'm not does not make me okay. And not just oh, I just don't like who I am. It physically makes me not okay. It mentally makes me not okay. It's very destructive to be something that I am not. And if, let's say, you're part of the LGBTQ community, you know exactly what it's like to fake act like you're hetero when you're not. If you are a black person and you're the quote unquote good black person, or you're the black person who's more refined, you know, you are black but you act white, you know exactly how that feels to be typecast and boxed in to be something that you're not, because you don't want to be critiqued harshly. And it's that type of energy when I say I'm a heathen, is that I break through those molds, because that's just not me. I'm gonna be my authentic self. And if you like it, cool. If you don't like it, cool. But at the end of the day, I'm going to stand in my shit unapologetically. I'm going to stand in my truth. And that's what Spirit wants for the collective in November. To be very much who you are throughout the thief energy, the gossip energy. You know, don't let those people and their low vibration take you away from yourself. Don't let people who haven't even researched themselves, they don't know themselves, they haven't even did any self-evaluation, they haven't even gone through their ascension period, they haven't gone through the dark night of the soul, they haven't invested in themselves, they haven't gone to therapy. Don't let them people tell you what you're supposed to be, what you're not supposed to be, what you're supposed to believe in, what you're not supposed to believe in. Don't let other people's situation become your situation. Don't take on other people's problems and belief systems and this and the third. Don't do that. Live in your truth. You are who you are. Spirit made you who you are because you're supposed to be you, nobody else but you, and be the best at it too. Shadow attributes: pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. When people hear heathen, this is what they think. They think that you're selfish, you're arrogant, you're narcissistic, you indulge in, like, let's say, dark, bad, you know, demonic things, or like very skullduggery, backstabbing, betrayal. Like, that's not it. If anything, that is literally the capitalist system. If anything, that's literally the corporate system. If we really want to get into it, if we really want to get into the shadow. But that's not what this reading is about. It's very much knowing you deserve everything and then some, but not being greedy about it with this hedonist energy. Not greedy about it in the sense of taking from other people or being gluttonous, over consuming whatever the situation is. It's enjoying your lovely, enjoying your divine, enjoying the fruits of your labor, but not making it such as to block other people from getting the same six harmony energy that you thrive in. Let's get the final archetype for 2022. What is 2022 giving for the final archetype, Spirit, for the collective? What is if I can talk, December 2022 giving? Hermit. Interesting. We have the Hermit energy, light attributes: seek solitude to focus intensely on inner life, serves personal creativity. This is actually the energy that I'm embodying as we speak, the Hermit energy. It is very, 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 very personal and important to take time out for yourself. Not just, you know, the soaking in the spiritual bath or doing the doctor's appointment or taking a vacation. When I mean Hermit energy, you need to be in silence so you can evaluate your thought patterns, to evaluate your triggers, to evaluate who you are. For example, I'm 29 now. I'm closer to 30 than I am to 20. How do I see life? How do I show up in life? How do I speak upon things? All that and then some is how you process this Hermit energy. This Hermit energy isn't necessarily to cry and whine and point fingers and play victim. Even if you truly are the victim, you have been victimized. That's not to say that that experience isn't real or you should just get over it. It's saying, what was the lesson in this? How did you go about this? What can you implore into your everyday life, in your consciousness? What is sitting in your unconscious that has not been resolved? It's that type of energy. And it's not a homework assignment. It's not a test. No one's gonna grade you. It's for you to be aware of yourself, so you don't come out talking all this yada 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 stuff and you sound crazy. You look crazy. You're doing things that are not necessarily unacceptable, but it's totally like facets, you know? It's the ability to see things from a different perspective, other people's perspective. It's the ability to see certain patterns of behavior that are detrimental to your success and how you can stop that, cut that, you know, transmute that, and so on and so forth. And you can only get that through that meditation energy, where there's not noise, where people aren't pushing and pulling you into this and that and the third direction, where you can sit in your quiet, sit in yourself, sit in your thoughts and be like, I never saw it from that perspective. But now you do, because you've been in hermit mode. Shadow attributes. Withdraws from society out of fear or negative judgments from others, refusing to help those in need. So this is giving me very much depression tease. Some people don't see it like that, but shadow attributes in the hermit energy, if it, you know, you have not done your shadow work, still holding on to dramas of yesteryear, in that hermit energy, and you haven't done any of that like processing of self, it's easy to get depressed. It's easy to self-victimize. It's easy to be on that annihilist type of mentality of nothing matters, life doesn't matter, I hate it here. It's easy. It's easy. Lord knows it is, especially in the system that is today. That's not going to help you. That's only going to make you feel worse about yourself, worse about life. It's not going to help you improve. It's not going to help you expand. It's not going to help you collectivize. It's not. Especially because December tends to be the colder season. The days are shorter. Seasonal depression is a thing. It's not going to help you. So I feel like with a shadow attribute, it's like, don't deny these experiences, but don't allow them to seep into your unconscious, your subconscious, and make you feel as if you're not good enough, or life will never go your way, and you're not able to see and create a new future because things are just what they are, and I just got the short end of the stick. And don't indulge in that energy, because it's not going to benefit you. So that is the archetypes that will be presented with the collective in the year 2022. Now, let's get into some love messages for the collective. I'm going to pull out 3 cards. The theme of love for the collective in 2022. All houses. Spirit wanted me to say even the 13th house that we sometimes remember that existed but don't exist, but depending on which system that you're seeing the astrology from, still does exist. If you know, you know. If you don't, just let that fly over. Interestingly enough, when we do count the 13th month, the 13th zodiac sign, I'm still a Taurus. Other people end up being something else. So like, let's say when we add the 13th month, I don't know why I keep saying month, but I meant zodiac sign. You might find yourself not being an Aries, but maybe a Pisces, or not being an Aries, maybe a Taurus, or wherever you are within your own zodiac sign. When you add the 13th zodiac sign, sometimes people find out that they're, depending on what system they're using, actually another sign. For example, in Vedic, my sun sign would be Aries, not Taurus, which is Western, and my moon would be Virgo and not Libra, which it is in Western. So different systems, different ways of understanding ourselves in the collective. All right. Let's see. What are some of the love messages, the love themes coming for the collective in 2022? Spirit, give us some insight. What are some of the love themes, insights, messages, gems, love, even lessons for 2022 for the collective in regards to love? Caught up in the rupture of love. Maybe you aren't. Oof. I just said that song and then the card came out. Oof. Maybe love. Maybe someone has stolen your heart. As I see here, underneath beef. you see a man who has like a heart in his jacket, like he stole it. Maybe someone has stolen your love, stolen your heart. Maybe it's one of those situations like, I'm not even looking for love. I'm not even interested in love. I'm just going to focus on my career. I'm going to focus on my kids. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do that. And then love just lands on your lap. And you're just like, damn, I wasn't even checking for it, but here it is. Okay, so we have different messages for different people. It's a collective. That makes sense. So for the first card, we have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So for the collective who are single, wanting to mingle, not ready to mingle, whatever the case may be, your next love is going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. Whatever you experienced in the past, especially if it was theft energy, this person did steal your heart and break it, or whatever the case may be, the next person coming in will be totally different, and different in the way of like, I understand why I needed to go through what I need to go through, because what I was dealing with and who I was in those relationships is not what I can be in the relationship that's manifesting, because that's a whole new person, a whole new vibe, a whole new energy. And I wasn't, let's say, woman enough, man enough, non-binary enough to be able to maturely indulge in a healthy relationship, because I need to learn the lessons of an unhealthy relationship to understand what is for me and what is not for me. We also have unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. So there will be some departures. It is what it is. It's the 6th year. And sometimes in relationships, it just may not be the right person, the right season. Maybe it was a reason, it was a lesson. Not always. It's like the person was horrible. You know, they're taking advantage of me. This whole thing is just trash. Sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes it's like we're better off as friends. Sometimes like we outgrew each other. Sometimes it's just a lesson that we needed to learn, so we never repeat it. But whatever the case may be with unrequited love here, for those that it resonates with, there will be a point within the year 2022 where you're going to have to cut things off. Whether it's romantic or platonic or whatever in between, this is the time. Y'all know if it's you. Separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So some of y'all might be in a relationship or meet somebody. Let's say you're on a travel, you're on a vacation or whatever, and you meet somebody on your trip, but you're like from 2 different countries or 2 different towns or 2 different states. And now it's like, damn, I really, really like this person. I really was trying to get to know this person. And it's like, can y'all's relationship be able to endure, let's say, a long distance relationship? Can you be mature enough, healthy enough, prioritize enough, and loyal enough to keep that long distance relationship alive? Meaning, like, are you both going to put skin in the game? Are you both going to set aside time to talk to each other, to meet each other? Are you going to be monogamous? Is it going to be an open relationship? Whatever the case may be. But for some of y'all, it might be a separation in regards to somebody had a better job and they're going to take the opportunity to move elsewhere. Again, y'all could be in passing, meet each other, and you're like, damn, I really want to see where things go, but like they're from a different time, space, place than you, and it just might not be the right season to make that investment to stay at the location. But whatever the case may be, there is going to be some type of separation. But can your relationship stand the rain? Can you stand the rain? I'm hearing like 90s R&B, and you know 90s R&B is good too, goddammit. So I'm hearing very much 90s R&B. I'm also hearing it's our anniversary, baby, you and me. Do you know what today is? It's our anniversary, made for you and me. So that might be a theme here too. You might meet somebody this year or met them last year, and then like this might be the year where it's like, oh, this is our 1st year anniversary, or this is our 6 month anniversary, whatever the case may be. But I'm feeling that type of energy for the collective too. Now that I have ran my mouth so much so, let me pull out one tarot card for each zodiac sign to see what is the theme that will be presented for the collective, but those who actually, you know, are members of a particular zodiac sign. So 2 shuffles. Let's go for 7. 3. That was 4. And I like to shuffle them all the way around. 6 and 7. Okay. What is the theme for the Aries collective spirit? Give us some insight for what is the theme for the Aries collective for 2022. What should they know? What they should be aware of, mindful of, prioritize for January, but not just January, throughout the year. We have the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups. This is very Pisces energy. For the Aries collective, you might glow up in some way, shape, or form. I feel like people might be seeing you differently, treating you differently. You might get that promotion, that raise. You might have like learned your value, learned what you bring to the table, and not allowing people to like discard that or like belittle that or even like play to the side. You know how people are like, if you're from New York, you know, Eric Adams, the new mayor of New York, he said that low-skilled workers are basically undeserving. And a lot of people like tagged his ass about that because there's no such thing as low-skilled worker. If anybody tries to pull that low-skilled worker thing, ask what happens when there's no more maintenance people. There's nobody to clean things or fix things. Let's see how smooth a company can run without maintenance. And during the pandemic that's still going on, let's see how unvaluable maintenance people are, janitor people are, when you call them low-skilled workers. Y'all calling people who work the barista bar at Starbucks low-skilled workers. What happens when you don't get your coffee? What happens when it's moldy coffee? What happens when the coffee isn't properly sealed and oops, you spilled it all over your chest, right? There's no such thing as low-skilled worker. If you are able to monetize your skill, if someone is willing to pay you for your skill, it is not low-skilled. What is low is the wages. The wages are low, but the profit from said wages of these the profit of these workers who you call low-skilled is high. Starbucks isn't going out of business. Kellogg's isn't going out of business. Nabisco isn't going out of business. John Deere, the company, isn't going out of business. These are workers that make these businesses profitable by selling their labor. So there's no such thing as low-skilled workers. Because if they were so low-skilled, their labor wouldn't matter much and they wouldn't contribute to these companies being multi-billion dollars worth, multi-million dollar work if their labor really wasn't that necessary. So, for the Aries collective, know your worth. And I feel like y'all feeling and learning. Let's see, what are some messages for Taurus collective? And not just January, but throughout the year 2022. What are some messages for the Taurus collective that they should know, need to be aware of, need to be mindful of? What is coming for the Taurus collective spirit? Give us some insight. Let's see. Oh, okay. We have the Page of Pentacles. There might be some investment Tauruses are making, or they might gain an investor or some investment. They might gain some, like, let's say funding or a grant or a bonus or a loan that allows them to really invest in themselves. As you can see, this looks like a little teeny bopper, like a little high schooler, right? And you see she has glasses, so she's very specific. She's very much analytical, and this doesn't have to be gender neutral. I'm saying she because it's the depiction, but I see this as someone who thinks a lot, someone who has vision, someone who has craftsmanship, and I feel like they might be in their, let's say, junior phase. Maybe they're a beginner or they're moderate, but this is the time for them to like bring whatever skill set they have to the next level, and it might be starting in January, but very much might be blooming within the spring summer season, as I could see in the background. But it's very much the energy of making things happen. Now that I got the cards in my favor, now that I got the money, now I got the access, I got the assistance, I got the whatever, now it's to make that and bring that vision alive. Very much that child magic energy. Bring that energy into manifestation. All right. What are some messages for the Gemini collective spirit? Give us some insight for the Geminis. What should they know for January 2022 and throughout the year? What are some consistent themes coming up for the Gemini collective? Gemini, I. What are some consistent themes popping up and showing up for the Gemini collective? Spirit, give us some insight. So, I see for the Gemini collective, we have the Star card and we have the Queen of Swords in reverse, which is interesting because they're both air signs, air collective energy. We have the Star card that's associated with Aquarius, and then we have the Queen of Swords in reverse, which is Libra energy, but it could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in general. I see with Gemini, I feel like you might be cutting people off because you're working on yourself, period, unapologetically. You might be having a coming to Jesus moment. You might having a man in the mirror moment, but it's very much like I am watering myself. I'm getting myself back into alignment. I'm making and prioritizing myself unapologetically. I'm sharing my truth. I'm saying what I need to say. I'm doing what I need to do. And give me some time. Give me some time to figure things out. Give me some time to be by myself. Give me some time to love up on myself. But I need me more than anything else. This is the energy that I'm seeing. There might be people, let's say an older woman, or just some people who might not agree, who might be like trying to change you or give you unsolicited advice. But I see with the Queen of Swords in reverse and the Star card, it's very much of like, I can't even give you this type of attention. Like, I need this for me. It's really that energy of like, I don't care if you don't understand, but I need this for me. And I need you to understand that. I need you to back off, and I need you to give me my space and grace. I feel like you're making that explicitly clear. I need me. Okay, let's see what's going on for the Cancer collective. What are some messages for Cancer that they need to know? We have the Page of Wands here. With the Page of Wands, I see this as the energy of moving forward with some plans. It could also be for the Cancer collective doing something, going somewhere, expanding somewhere, taking on a new skill set. Could be even in love as well. I see this as not just taking a leap forward in the sense of the Fool card, but like, I know what I want and I'm going after it. There's something that you know that you want, you're going after very just solidly. This could be one of those like, baby, take me back. I'm gonna go chase the love of my life. It could be a situation where it's like, I really want a kid. I'm gonna have a kid. I don't care. It could be the energy of like, no, I'm moving and I'm going to be archaeologist. It could be something like that, but it's just like, I have this get up and go about me, and I'm going to pursue it to the ends of earth or the end of the results. But regardless of what, I just got to do it. It doesn't matter if y'all get it, you rock with it, but I have to invest. I have to see this thing out. Let's see, what is the energy for Leo? Ray, give us some insight for the energy of Leo. What is going on with the Leo collective? What should the Leo collective know, be mindful of? We have Judgment in reverse. There might be something that you thought was finalized, but not really finalized with a Judgment card in reverse. This is Scorpionic energy, but it might be something in your favor or against your favor. It would have to be specified to your situation. But I feel like with the Leo collective being Judgment in reverse, is very much the energy of, let's say you thought something was finalized, a verdict was finalized, you thought this opportunity was gone. This is telling you that nothing is truly gone. Let's say you was going through some type of verdict, some type of judgment that you thought it was done for, it was over, it's not coming back, like the ship has sailed. With the Judgment in reverse, that is not the case. That is not true. With Judgment in reverse, if let's say it was not fair or all evidence wasn't taken into consideration or whatever the case may be, it's not done. And it depends on who you are and how this resonates with you. It could be a situation where it's like, oh, I really wanted to come back around. It could be a situation where it's like, oh my God, why are you back around? But only you could determine, Leo. But I see with this particular energy, something you thought was done is not really done, that you might have to handle. Could be a relationship as well. Could be a relationship, could be a job, could be something that you thought was done in your past, and I was like, no, you might be done with me, but I'm not done with you. And in that case, definitely get that restraining order. Definitely. Don't even hesitate. Like, do it. Do it now. Let's move on to Virgos. What should the Virgo collective be insightful of? We have the Moon card. Okay, Virgo. That's your sister in Pisces with the Moon. So Virgos, there might be something that you're fearful of, but you have to face it. Might be something that you've kept in secret that might be coming up. And it's one of those situations where it's like, it can't be used against you if you stand in your truth, but it also can't be used against you if you put it out there first. If that makes sense. But I feel like with the Virgo collective, there's something that you have to come to face with. And it might be something that you have been distancing yourself from it for a very long time. Or you thought that no one would know, no one would be able to find out. And now it's here. It's like you've been running. And you can't run no more. You can't run from the truth and you can't run from yourself. It's one of those things that you got to face. So Virgos, face it. Face your truth. Let's move on to Libras. Scorpio. Libras. Scorpio. I'm getting the energy of both Libra, Scorpio, Libra, Scorpio. And I'll take the Two of Pentacles. It kind of fits the energy. Virgo, not Virgo, but Libra, Scorpio, Libra, Scorpio, Libra, Scorpio. I'm feeling that particular energy. And I did say something similar when I was pulling out the energy for the archetype cards. It's the energy of Libra, Scorpio, Libra, Scorpio. And of course, they share parts of the month just like every other zodiac sign. But it's the energy of either or, balancing, either or. Could be happening either in whichever season. But it's the energy of balancing. It's the energy of like this or that, this or that, this or that. So, Libra. I feel like with y'all, you might be having money issues, or it may not even be a money issue as more so like a decision that you have to make. A decision that you have to make. And it feels kind of like, should I not? Should I not? And it could be about money. It could be about the decision to where to invest, where to go, how to prioritize. Because the Pentacles could actually be actual money, but it could also be just stability, whatever that stability means. It could be a job. It could be home. It could be a relationship. It could be mutuals. But whatever the case may be, it's the energy, should I not? Back and forth. What is not? And you have to get the clarity. Nobody or nothing is going to get the clarity for you. You have to set the tone, Libras. And it may be happening in the summer, spring season. And it might be something celebratory. You might have, let's say, Verdict energy, Libra skills. It might be something in your favor, but then it's like, okay, what's the next move? Then it's like, okay, but like, after the celebration, after the cake done been ate, after everybody done left home and went home, then what? And you have to figure out the what, then what? Let's clarify or get some energy for the Scorpio collective finally. Got the Three of Cups. Scorpios, hey. So I feel like with this, not just Scorpios, the collective, if it resonates, it resonates. And we all have other aspects in our chart besides our sun and our moon. So how it applies is how it applies. But with the Three of Cups, this is celebration. This could be Scorpios with you and your girlies. Maybe it's the Three Musketeers type of teas. Or since it's women, the Three Muskerettes, whatever. But it's the energy of celebration, the energy of Mazel Tov. But it's all because y'all are who you are. As you can see, this is the Three of Cups, but everybody looks different, from the skin tone to the outfit to the hair. But they're all celebrating. They're all in their own energy, combining and communing together. There might be some celebration. Let's say somebody's pregnant, somebody's getting married, someone is advancing in their career, Scorpio. This could be you. This could be the people around you. But I see it's the energy of like living my life like it's golden. I'm hearing that from Jill Scott. Or maybe you're going to Philly, or maybe you're about to listen to some Jill Scott. But nonetheless, it's the energy of like making things happen, solidifying something, like honoring that Scorpio energy. And interesting, like I just talked about it with Libra. I was like, after the cake done been ate, after all of this, then what? And it's the energy Libra Scorpio is the energy of like both at the same time, but not really. It's like a situationship, which I would never advise anybody to get into, where it's like we together but we not together. I feel like this energy is like, I did it, but like then what? I cooked the meal, I flipped the house, I traveled to Dubai, now what? And it's like, you got to figure out the now what, whatever that is. And I feel like it's leaning for both Libra and Scorpio, but I'm going to give Scorpio its space because this is the Scorpio portion here. There is some type of celebration. It could have been a long time coming. This could be some type of retreat. This could be some type of like, answer, like, yes, you've been approved for something. Can you be a part of our team? We're about to fund something. We're going to support something. You know, people know your name. You famous in your city, whatever the case may be. But it's very much like you earned it, so you gonna get it. Now let's move on to the next. On to the next. Sagittarius is on to the next. You know what's funny? Jay-Z is a Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, what's going on? You on your Jay-Z hustle man tip? What's going on for y'all? I said y'all name and y'all came out. First, it was the Three of Swords, and then the Wheel of Fortune, which is just card Sagittarius, so I'm not surprised that y'all showed up. Three of Swords. There's some type of separation that's going to lead to this Wheel of Fortune, Sagittarius is. Maybe some type of divorce. Maybe like the Three Musketeer thing ain't working for you, so you're going solo dolo. Maybe you're leaving a company to start something else on your own. Maybe you've been in a toxic relationship and now it's time to end. Maybe some paperwork. You found some type of betrayal. The devil is in the details. Maybe you found through some text messages someone's cheating. Maybe you saw through some legal paperwork someone's like hiding assets from you, or whatever the case may be. But whatever this deception is, it leads to this Wheel of Fortune, so it is divinely guided. 3 and 10 to give you together gives you 13, which is that rebirth energy. It's giving me very much shares. Do you believe in love after loss? It might be something like that, or a large windfall. You might win some money. Something might be in your favor. You might win a court case. But for my Saggies, something's really going to be prosperous for you. In the beginning, it sucks. But at the end, it's the Wheel of Fortune. And it's on your side because it's upright. So, you know, sometimes we at the bottom of the wheel. But sometimes we at the top of the wheel. Because that's just how life goes. But y'all going to be on the top. Don't you want to be on top? I don't know what Tyra is, but It's something that you deserve. And I feel like you're going to be very proud of it. You're going to be very fierce about it very much. I am man, woman, non-binary. Here I roar. Let's move on to the Captastic Capricorns. What my Cappies got. Y'all slid through real quick. Like a Capricorn would. Not even wasting no time. Getting straight to the point. Y'all got swords too. A lot of swords energy. I feel like with Capricorns, like, again, straight to the point. Cut straight to the point. Straight shooter. No chase. The Two of Swords in reverse is like you're no longer in conflict. You're no longer stifled. You're no longer stuck in an energy of don't know what to do, don't know how to move, don't know. It's the energy of like, all right, I'm going to cut this shit and I'm going to just do this. It's one of those situations where it's like maybe you've been trying to make this thing work out with the crescent moon. Maybe you felt depleted in the situation. You've been giving your all. You've been doing your most. You've been this and the 30, very accommodating. And I know you Cappies, you're an earth sign like I'm an earth sign. You're in, y'all the Billy Goats. You do the most, you don't like doing the most. You don't, right? You are who you are. You're very grounded in what you're about. Like it is what it is. Like very much like I'm fixated on my money. I'm fixated on my stability. I'm fixated on going on to the next. Like that's just the Cap energy. But I feel like maybe something, maybe a relationship, maybe a situationship, doesn't have to be romantic, that y'all were trying to make a thing. And you've been doing the most. You've been as much compromising as you could be. You've been caring as much as you've been caring. You've been doing the absolute most. But now it's like, okay, I can't. I've been doing way too much. You've been taking too much advantage of me. I've been bending over backwards, but this just ain't it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop this and I'm going to move on, because the Two of Swords plus the Six of Swords gives you the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is nothing that we want to play with. As well as eight in general is personal. So this could be something that you've been stressing over, something that's just been pulling and tossing you to different directions. And now you're like, I'm all setty. I'm feeling to go. I need my mental health more than I need this. I'm going. I'm gone. Goodbye. Just like in a Capricorn fashion. Let's move on to Aquarius. What are some themes, messages for Aquariuses? It's really like that. I feel like Capricorn's like, all right, this is enough. Cut the shit. It's that type of energy. Page of Cups, Aquariuses. Y'all might have a new romantic offer that stirs your curiosity. Y'all might find out that someone's pregnant or you pregnant. There might be an answer that you were waiting for and you got the answer and it's in your favor. As you can see, little girlie's eyeing the cup with the fish. So she's keeping her eye on the prize. But I see what this Aquarius is, whatever it is really good news. And it could be good news for someone, just not good news for you. Like, let's say the love of your life is getting married to somebody else, but you got to be happy for that person because they deserve it. But you know, if you would have stepped up to the plate and been a better man or woman or non-binary, it could have been you. So it's one of those situations where it's bittersweet, where it's like, I'm happy for them to be happy because that's the mature and honest thing to do and be. But I also, it's right under Unrequited Love, the gag. But it's also the energy of like, if I didn't play around, if I stood up, if I would have, been about my shit, if I would have been less of a F-boy or F-girl or F-non-binary, then I could have been with that love of my life. It's that type of energy for Aquarius. And, valid times does fall in Aquarius season. So I do see the energy for those Aquariuses on that high vibrational energy where good things are happening, good things are popping. Again, it could be an opportunity, it could be a romantic gesture, it might be, the getting to know each other phase, it could be a date, it could be a marriage proposal, it could also be a child coming into this plane. But nonetheless, it's happy, happy, joy, joy if it's meant for you. And Pisces. The last, but really the last? Not really. It's just positioning. And we love a good Pisces. Intuitive, sweet, kind, giving, caring, healing, honest. At least the high vibrational ones. Because I know some Pisces who will lie their asses off just for the F of lying their asses off. No real reason besides they just wanted to do it. So, but I feel this is vibrationally high, Pisces. We got the Queen of Swords here for my Pisces. I feel like with the Queen of Swords, I feel like, honestly, don't take it personal because it's no shade. No shade, no shade, no shade. It's shade free. I feel like for my Pisces, y'all, in this year, not just January, but in this year, people are going to start looking at you like, oh, you got a backbone now? When did you start talking to people like that? Like, when did you start setting boundaries? Like, when did you start saying no? I feel like there's going to be a punch or a bite to you, and it's not out of aggression. It's not out of being mean, but it's out of like, mama didn't raise no hoe. If you get what I'm saying, Pisces, I feel like with this particular energy, if you felt like you were in this prostitution energy of maybe doing the most for other people but not getting the same in return, you're very much of like, that was me in 2021, but that is not me in 2022. I don't know what you done heard, but that's not me no more. I feel like with this is not even, I shouldn't even put this with unrequited love, because I see this more so with separation. I feel like you cutting off the excess fat. You're cutting off people, places, and things that don't resonate with you, that don't mean you well, that don't embody that high vibrational energy. I feel like you're being very unapologetic about where you stand and how you stand with people. And some people might look at it like, damn, you mad harsh. Like, you wasn't like this before. But it's not about being harsh or you switching up or changing up. It's about you putting yourself in a better place, especially mentally. I feel like you've been dealing with a lot, bearing a lot, not saying a lot, just taking the blows and the punches. But now it's like, no, this is what I need for me. This is what I need for my mental. This is what I need for my physical. And this is where I stand. I know who I am. I know my worth. I know what I value. I know what I bring to the table. And if you just can't match my energy, then I'm just going to cut you off. Just that simple. And I'm not feeling to argue about it. I'm not feeling to explain myself about it. No is a complete sentence. And the answer is no. Period. So that is the energy for the collective. Now, bonus points if you could tell me what that 13th zodiac sign is and where it fits into the zodiac sign, the zodiac wheel. That's the bonus point. But that is the reading for the collective. Hopefully it hits. Hopefully it resonates. This was such a great reading. Everything was very smooth. I felt like everything, the messages came to me. Maybe my mouth wasn't really coordinated with my thoughts, with the fumbling of my words, but nonetheless, the energies are really, really good, very high, very positive for the collective. And hopefully these messages resonate. They give you some insight of not only what's to come for January, but what's to come throughout the whole year. Hopefully this encourages you to live your best life, to live in your truth, to get what you want out of this life, to get the best love, the best life-work balance, the best outcomes, and so on and so forth. But that's where I'm going to leave it here. If you would like to follow me on social media, I am Paint Your Truth everywhere except on Instagram. It is Paint Your Truth _. Don't forget the underscore. If you would like to reach out to me via email, my email is paintyourtruth.art@gmail.com. Everything is in this description box. There's also other content on my channel in regards to process painting. Definitely check it out, especially if you need that solitude, you need that mental health, you need that guidance, you need that support. Definitely check out the video so you can get into your own process painting, how that looks like for you, and how you can incorporate that into your self-care. If you are in the Massachusetts area and you would like to set up your own process painting workshop with me, definitely reach out to me via email and we can set that up. If you would like to show your gratitude for this reading, you can always hit me up in the Cashapp $VWCine on Cashapp. And so I think that's all I have to say. I think I have it all covered. And if you would like a personalized reading, you can reach out to me via email, paintyourtruth.art@gmail.com. I do readings in regards to whatever you would like to know. Whether it's love, career, future, shadow work, because I do that too. Reach out. With all that being said, y'all, be blessed, be enlightened, be loved. I am